Oh, sorry. So meaning
academy late can you?
But Alfred, could you tell me
my birthday? How?
Oh, okay. Oh, I see.
Yeah, no, I wish you why.
Mati.
Mary Shino. The best for the year.
Mary Shino. Yeah.
Let my pal.
Lawyer. On the shots here we go way back. Yeah. Lawyer, my create now. Me Kwaba.
Say, oh man.
Lawyer Kwaba.
I'm Jiminia.
Bibiaboko.
Mincha Ghana for 84. Mincha Miami Rapini, friends, Thompson. Weekend mem wish o me bobi me kaza me come drink
boy ye me to na ye ni mu e afranto
o jo fela
o besta o chance
no so me ba fini bazu no
internet mo wa andi na
afranto
me ba fini bazu anyway I know you find your dom I'm not say friends or the cratchy yao abrokwa and then I would
Saturday
happy birthday. Oh wow, coming Saturday.
Saturday, Charlie. So in advance, by
happy birthday in advance.
Oh, thank you.
But Saturday, you wish
yeah.
Not and Russell and Mary Hope. Me Adom supporter. I know because me Adom supporter here, but since people shouldn't go to the stadium and things and return and now I mean share friends poli Ibusia din onongasa on rest in peace na ejuma oyema kotoko na enye asempeto na I'm praising for special anyone, but we need to look at the sports racing. People shouldn't be going to a stadium and say back in the back. Yes, and it should under no circumstance should that be should happen.
Because stadium akoshe ball. Now we have say obi ko the second shen who no they are stadium.
I said they check them. It is that security no.
Check your mo.
Oh, I'm on stadium I check you.
Ghana.
They check you.
Really?
No. Security wall.
No,
they are supposed to check you.
They are supposed to.
Yes.
They are supposed
sometimes
to.
I'm sure when my say oh CK there and I CK do on bomb be say be checking on him say second you know hey what fan is saying that's so kasa fine. It's sad. But
Yanshan Komono ase Mijidi say the chaos in Parliament in Namsonti Speaker Alban Bagman has suspended Honorable Roxanne Dafia Makbo, Honorable Adom and 2 other members of Parliament as to whether or not he has the powers. Essence Akoye Emrasemunti lawyer my hensha same free. The chaos in Parliament. It looks like 9th Parliament, and free the 8th Parliament and how it started. Now we are seeing this again. Lawyer, I'm
and so I think I've said enough about the unacceptability of that kind of chaos because we essentially
you are yet to say something on my platform.
Okay, so we can be brief because we focus more will be more on the speaker.
Yeah.
As in Thompson MPP in terms of the purity of ideology.
Yeah.
I'm sure that we align.
Yeah.
But this year party na MPP party no because we deviated from our ideologies, our principles, and values.
Yeah.
Having said that, parties because people have different ideas, different values, and how they see things. And the beauty of democracy is we should be able to have different ideas. We should be able to disagree, but tolerate among for diverse views. For me, the most critical thing of the fact that parliamentarians, more reflect largely those values, to me. And disagree without tolerating diverse views and respecting diverse views to condemn the act in no certain terms. Ghana's day of shame, for want of a better word. Having said that, it cannot be a justification also to then create let's say, a Caesar. Yes, and having said that, for me, no, but there should be no justification to create a Caesar. Because here come about tolerance, accountability, you know, the focus of all those things, no, is to create a right culture and be sustaining the rule of law. So it means that you put the rule of law, and it should be that one. There should be zero tolerance for anything that undermines the rule of law. So I think say how who speak at OBN. Me admire on
yeah.
No NPP not knowing this thing. Me admire I really admire him, and I feel that over the last 4 years, he was one of the shining lights in the course, you know, in terms of the leadership he gave in Parliament. Some of the advice on my but in spite of the course of Parliament, no, almost say can the chapade and all no, I don't think say Speaker no can arrogate upon himself powers that he essentially doesn't have, because the rule of law it's man them out to me. I think say acts which are contemptuous of Parliament, acts which are disorderly things. I think say Parliament almost any other Sankasa I'm a process no, and the process no is not say Speaker Nankasa on his own whims and caprice no wait me issue say may suspend for 2 weeks or whatever it is. I think the right procedure is to refer them to a committee, and committee needs to be culpable. Then if the standard itself has prescribed punishments or no, then and even the punishments, no, then you follow procedure. And what I'm saying, and about whether you love somebody, you don't love somebody, and about whether you respect somebody or you don't respect somebody. The point that the law must be allowed to work, or the law must be allowed to work, and no level of indignity or disgrace should guarantee as creative, because if I say speak away, me trust them or a principle then or abusing it or you be on toda. But the danger is ukunya obi because the Caesar. Now say maybe Thompson abe MP and Thompson be MP. Now maybe I'll say me Thompson asem. The Thompson quite adeki to ebia or Thompson mama 3 months suspension. We should do everything to avoid sad discretion or limit it to a very minimum. So for me, dear, I think as much as I condemn the acts of MPs, maybe the fact that I'm appalled by how they acted, especially on more NDC side, MPP side. MPP for no. Sana no mistake because the disagreement was on Yampong.
No, but don't you think that at the point there was some sort of rush because both sides agreed say nipa dodo say nene yebebe to then the majority came say oh yemfa ba queen ka ho, the minority agreed, oh yenya ba queen susun ka ho, the minority agreed. Then before they knew it na corridor no mu nyina ayema nominees na ba obi ade ne nkrofo aba.
But in terms of the violence and things, it was instigated by minority chief whip table. And I was saying so yes, because you tell us a system be me say let me cry to take me out of my schedule. And a lot of radio for the catchers me offer him say one man me promise here I may not likely not come. I understand.
Yeah.
But the point I'm trying to make is say the reaction of the majority, the instigative be sir chief whip Eddie Akonyeti so muntu say no. You understand?
Yeah.
And then but he also does not justify the film reaction.
No? That's true.
But most critically, and no should go say your opinion probably 70% of Ghana for a support is there. No, now I'm saying a support speaker no a suspension. And the point I'm trying to make is that no amount of how you are angered by the cause should justify us creating a Caesar. Justify any act which is against the rule of law. Because then was the didn't say we say be obi ondo we say pano when Minnie Thompson oh can't be a year some small we say Thompson could fear 3 months no. You understand? And for me that's the danger. I feel say speaker in to us here. Procedure no honor. Unfollow procedure. We create committee, right? Was say one of the abiding principles of your constitution also is in the natural justice. You understand? If I hear long never criminal, I say you are innocent until proven to meet my red-handed. But it means me MT out the judgment immediately. We shouldn't depart from those values under no circumstance. Because then the name can say the in about time say you be guarantee for yourselves the rule of law. It is a say an affront to the rule of law, then it must not be acceptable, and the court must be say you the right thing. For me, listen, I feel say ASAP, Jomiya no will condemn it. Movement of change. I'm a spokesperson.
Yes.
May issue statement.
Yeah.
I condemn it, no. But having condemned it, no, and justify, because then what have we done? If you say you support say and anything that undermines the rule of law, then you're consistent. No. In my view, Speaker need the power to suspend them without resorting to that right procedure.
Yeah.
The committee must be formed. The committee must hear them out, and then if in the opinion of the committee, or more behave in a manner as they are being charged, they should be punished as per the standing order.
Yeah.
Having said that, I'm fan counsel, but I also support the speaker. So I refer the clerk of parliament to also pursue a criminal side investigation into the matter, because like I said, say aban ejapadia investigate me. So I support the call. Investigate and then the right thing should be done.
But would you also support the call from our colleague lawyer Martin Kpebu, say the 4 suspended MPs, they should take legal action?
Of course, but if
the speaker on.
Speaker take action, we hold the view say illegal. Obviously, the best redress in I support that call in this, and that's any matter of how I see the speaker, any matter of the fact say I admire him greatly. The point is that what we have is to guarantee for this country, the future of this country, the rule of law. And he say, me say, oh, you even say against the rule of law, it must be condemned. And is a amount for Buifu, amount for Idra, but no amount of anger, disdain, should justify a support of any act which is against the rule of law.
Okay.
Then in that case, we'll be creating a Caesar. Says an MP before as I can say, friends don't trust our book, chasing the elephant into the forest.
Kennedy
say any energy minister none do first time budget say MP before a create Caesar. I'm sure the time an MP before creating Caesar, they could have been a justification for the entire force that they had to give Ronaldo so much power. But in giving him so much power now, so let me reiterate this: no amount of anger, no amount of disdain at what happened in Parliament should justify us taking steps which will lead to the creation of a dictator in Parliament.
All right. But that's a lawyer Andrew Apia Dankwa movement for change and a ten and can answer na Alfred Thompson hono. Shane Sumame Telecel fixed broadband no emwaye they say a new customer or amount 50% bonus data in addition to other mind-blowing offers and existing customers. They say 300% bonus data on every broadband renewal. And subscribe to Telecel fixed broadband for these amazing offers. Dial star 900 hash or use the Telecel Play app and also submit me at the AJ will fix broadband and also call www.telecel.com.ghr. You can get yourself connected. This is Shaka Crown on Telecel connecting energies. What do you
see? It's
happy birthday in advance.
Thank you. It's Bibi Abokode.
Namiadum
lawyer. Ungaza pimponi.
Makazapi.
Ospele beans no ospele no kono ospele no ko.
Ade bi ospele.
We dey hwe.
Lawyer wa uni mu dey da. Obese da.
I'm dropping you so no.
Obese da.
Lawyer.
Over to you, Alfred Thompson.
Lawyer for change. And a lawyer for reset. Movement for change.
Reset also change.
Reset we.
Reset change.
It's unfortunate. Sometimes say share and leaders no. Some of the things more police, ne cars, ne bodyguards, ne idea no. Meaning say be a fire in Timo said then because I really don't understand why someone knows the standing orders of Parliament. We call standing orders 129. It tells you everything. It spelled it out there. Everything that should be done if a member misconducts himself. And why should someone take it upon himself, say, instead of setting up a committee, if the privileges, and I don't know why up to now, to me, a privileges committee, you know. I don't know why up to now they haven't been able to set it up. Because setting up a committee, you know the criteria already, you know everything.
Yeah.
It's just naming the people to.
Now, when you say the existing privileges committee, you know, key members, Musukram account, I suspend your
Something no true. If you think it shouldn't go to the privileges committee because these key members are part, then you set up a special committee.
Yeah,
that's what you do. You set up a special committee to deal with this case. You don't take the law into your own hands. Two wrongs don't make a right. So if you say they are wronger, that doesn't give you the right to also become wrong. It doesn't. And we should call what is wrong, wrong. I respect Speaker Gbagbe. I love him so much. Sometimes, yes, I know he goes overboard a lot. But most of the time, his the atade na bim say we should localize Parliament it will go into the books of Ghana. Say Speaker Gbagbe was the one who says we should stop this gownish thing and go local. Yeah, fragmente ana yeah way. Okay, I was in now no Parliament another ocean the kente no de ko. All these things are things that goes into the book as record. And you don't want to set a record to that you are a speaker. Wo de won't you be a de way and say wo got now na de ebefa wo mu no na for mu ria na yes wo koja wo yeso wo airport. You've taken a decision, you've sanctioned it, the people should come and meet you, and you've left because you love your wife and you're going to see her off at the airport. Why? What is this? What is this? Is that how we want to run Parliament? Is that what they want us to learn? So that when we go to Parliament one day, this is what you are going to do? And lawyer Kasano, if you say, one bo unya suma, onusun fahama imbebo na emu mbobunu. What the majority did was wrong, totally unacceptable. From 3 to 4 to 5 to 8, and the time was 10 p.m.
Yeah.
We should note it. 10 p.m. There's what we call the brain drain. As a lawyer, no name said there's something called brain drain, and brain drain to me ma we nyama pi. What to me my table so yeah way because what bread and they are forcing you. And man to me nyama pi because who say who go school now we teach a show and every time we teach a show every time you teach and push show we be chicken if no by force. Because we was a teacher need in the next also. And that's wasro. Because every time be careful. Every time be want to be built. Yeah. And you go to Parliament, someone is talking about people's properties. And so on person be candidate. When you are saying it, then the chairman will tell you say, oh, don't answer that question. When publicly, you don't even give people the chance to go somewhere and even answer questions, but you openly display things that could be or could not be theirs. Who call Parliament so? Obia who call vetting no. You answer questions as if you are even vetting the person asking you the questions. When you go behind the council, you should know that ye testy will subine, ye testy with him day, ye testing yama P one because they want the whole nation to see whether you can stand the test of time. It's not just about the ministry I work on. So they can push you to the wall. They say most pushing minority to the wall or react. They also they can push you to the wall. And it'll be to me call 5 hours. We have to say previous administration will be called 2 days. In fact,
finance minister.
Yes. They went for 2 days.
2 days. Yeah.
There was, I don't know whether it was a Jakuto or so.
There was another person, yeah.
Also called 2 days. Nipa Bako. And we didn't say anything. We accommodated it. Now, would they be a question 5 hours now? Can say, why should they ask one person question for 5 hours? Now, the almost say, about say, anybody agro. And the question, we shared the line of question, the way Alex Markin was going at, he was building a case. Say, yen share nipakro na yede ejumane manu. Can he handle it or not? But because Ngofu bitina hono mufi say almost over super majority, inti they can do whatever they like. It is not right. Shetema, you can say even Speaker Babin say omumbe shiano chamber near there no. For the chairman to say that okay, let's suspend certain and come tomorrow, they be on here. Because he feels Okujetop should be passed out, and the rest who are there that should be passed out will be passed out. What would it have taken for the speaker to say that, okay, Anna, the chairman of the committee, to say that, okay, they are more here in Crawford 5, about 10 p.m. And then young brother the next day, at the end of the day, didn't they come the next day? Did they kill Okujeto or did they kill any of the other people who were there? By suspending it.
And the next day, Nukra came with its own issues.
His own issues.
Minority leader accused the clerk of parliament of being partisan.
You see? But when they sent it to the next day, they didn't spoil anything. If the chairman had just said that, okay, I think you are making a point, let's send it to the next day, what would have happened? What would have happened? And the minority leader accused the clerk because he didn't think it was fair for us to all sit down, because they agree on everything before they come for a sittings. And they agreed on 3. Then later on, you came to beg that, oh, because of a Aryan indemnity, you have back home back home, no more penny so. Oh, when we are no soon time, you have back home back home, no open so. Then now you don't even come and tell them, but you want to sneak people in. Now you are becoming partisan. Because definitely you would have agreed with the majority chairman or leader that you want to bring these people in before bringing them. So when you do that, he will call you partisan, which is not fair. It's not fair to both sides. Because we want to unite and build this country. Let me tell you something. One of the biggest challenges Akufo-Addo had, they say, the NDC, Afro-Franto, other parties, they don't want to unite behind him to build the country. He may have his faults. You may name his faults. But let us all come together and build the country. NDC can only succeed these first 4 years if you all come together to build this country. Share our ideas. Not in a disrespectful manner, but in a very respectable manner. Yen share your ideas. Now yen making sure say yen see or mine ma echina wo ne meba omoba ometumi aka say yen nananum ayebi amayen. That is how you build a nation. And they shouldn't think they have super majority, so they don't need anybody. So they can't be bothered. So they don't think about anybody. They should be very careful what they ask for. Because what you ask for is what you get. Omo guys, omo yes, so many things around now yen to be in control. At the end of the day, as someone say, it would affect them. At the end of the day. Because when see what will come later on will not be good for all of us. It's wrong. We are not going to be spectators. We are going to be citizens. We are going to delve into some of the things. But the first 6 months, I can say at least almost 6 months, honeymoon. No more form 9 CCE. Then after that, we can start asking them questions. And we'll do that for them. I don't think anybody wants evil for them. I don't think anybody wants evil for this country. And we've asked that should happen. And I can say, Speaker Babin, if he is reflected on this, Uncle back now and then so to me or shall leaders in Ria or to me after almost say, okay, you come and let this committee handle the case. If the committee in their findings say that they should go for 2 weeks now, they should go for 10 days, they should go for 5 days, or they should just repair the mic and the things near there, so be it. But let the process work. Don't take power into your own hands. Absolute power corrupts absolutely.
All right. But that's it. Alfred Kojo Thompson of the MPP and Yeten and Adom 106.3 FM and Uguswa Utie. Okay, but we have other issues. A war a table no so of course we can look at the bribery allegations against appointment committee a day Oliver Bakavoma Ekopie Emrashe and then the 8-member committee to plan National Education Forum. Mampeni Apawomo and also Ewaha. And then the digital transformation key to Africa's economic future. So the second round, your pick, and then you can take and run with it. The bribery allegations against appointments committee on Fortunate Bobby Banson, and then the setting up of the 8-member committee. Lawyer. My main interest will be the bribery allegations. You've made some comments on that. The appearance of Oliver at the committee, any reasoner or debate, and then finally, or apologize, menti as it stands now, meaning say you're their channel. And Anamibwa per his appearance at the committee, maybe you have a few reactions to that. Nothing lawyer.
Uza debia akwa say abanya say yes citizens no you anya ban kwa building mine fa the kapa mom building mine pa yes citizens no abanya just supposed to give the and now say by live there e bin benya prominence e benya chance kasama fotie say nyame Adom a privilege na say do some people so kasama fotie it comes with added responsibility. So in some way, it should be in some a building, not to destroy.
Yeah.
And for the honor, in your back, one show because to say things, our own nuclear ND against an important house to say everything no, and that is yours. That is one as an own domain. Yeah, not just own domain because I don't say about say criticize. For me focus on just say maybe me Thompson, I be not some criticize. My focus shouldn't be to say me say no. And sometimes when I say only me personally, it's better to say in the casa quietly or inside because your focus is not say say no. Focus say Bama. Everyone saying,
yeah,
but say Oko trust and against we say that is a problem, and we must fight against that because we also don't want people to destroy institutions, no, the integrity of the institutions that are building. We must fight against that. So maybe and yes, and come more agent. I think I'm train naso kakra, and I think I'm train naso kakra because ultimately acting about that. Puts into disrepute the dignity of Parliament, and then you just come and then come and apologize, and then you go scot free. Because for system we to work now, only has citizens, no, but just system lady. As a system, citizens no also your parliamentarians, some go jisica and some take decisions because people trust you.
Yeah.
Now criticize impression. Yes, I think it may be which will cause people in similar positions, no, not to do that. So very unfortunate and it must be condemned. You're focusing say body mind. And yes, as culture now maybe me movement into the urban be beyond me against no. Says not just a young then what am I doing? We criticize to build, not to destroy. That's the young say it reflects our focus no. And now bank in a building. Again a building mind. Aban would just give us the leadership and create the right environment for us to build the country. And so don't mind us throughout information. And as I say, we are so small. Since somehow can we are saying funny obi a TB. Say you go to a Ghana Parliament or much bribe and some take decisions.
But lawyer, do you think say Parliament somehow is becoming toothless? I mean, because sana na okano esen komo twi na so kakra but we na kwaye say okay, I mean, there need to be a precedent. I say to me, a money and some. Or the last time Black Rasta was before the committee. I mean, and also so can't it bite?
Oh, I think it can bite, but it's only I must also respect. View.
Yeah.
Maybe I think to say that Parliament is toothless is too harsh.
Okay.
I don't have that impression because of my back. Maybe in their wisdom they felt say, listen, Akwanaba, wabe apologize. I'm sure when the time comes and then they must bite, I believe that they will bite.
Okay.
So like I'm saying, send them in a match. The first time I train my view say that doesn't mean someone yes toothless. I'm sure also in their own wisdom taking so many factors into consideration, especially in freedom of thought. You also don't want to, as much as I wrong, no. So I apologize. I don't also want to take an act. I remember a bit calm for also from. So I would have wished. Just an work and all my examples will be saying but that is my personal opinion, and Parliament thought otherwise. The guy has apologized. They first apologize also on con. Per se doesn't make them toothless.
Okay.
But I think when they believe they must take it. Speaker MP for my example minority for no it's here I don't know on your share. But maybe of course I feel too much into no. It doesn't mean speaker no toothless in those times. It could be semi much opinion. Just much opinion. The fact Parliament disagrees with me, my opinion. No, it doesn't mean you're toothless, and I wouldn't say so. You're toothless. When the time comes for them to bite, I'm sure they will bite.
Okay, all right. Me that's it. Go you.
Yes, bro. Okay, education asem. You so back education asem na kakra. And I won't pay no.
Oh, let me say a partner sabi. Okay. So
you can deal with the education.
Yeah. So education, very, very critical. Very critical because when you say I'm sure I'm one of the people who criticize Anadu, and I've said a lot about free SHS now. But I think one thing that nobody can argue with is the idea of funding, create a system where amount for 17 year problem for local school, no, and the idea you cannot criticize. A fantastic idea. I think what happened was that it was a fantastic idea that we didn't take our time to think through on how we were going to do it. Also, call offer or maybe to say US is a highly capitalist society, and high school education from primary even to senior a free. But not find a way of system it me funding because they don't play with their property rate. First of all, not decentralize even the funding process. That's what America or maybe on school district, which is really critical. In Tokoto, a dying crampa, you must consider school district because of property rates and they fund the school. And what we didn't do was to think through how we're going to fund the free SHNT. I was pressuring in us a buying place. To all my already about even the threshold tax threshold even in West Africa yellow, whereas the threshold is about 18%. Yeah, about 12%. So for such a fantastic idea, because of young through how we're going to fund it and other things, ama abeye samwebi. So in that, they say said there was an issue. The decision was not say
Yeah.
Now I'm hoping that dialogue will create a platform where all stakeholders will come on board. Finding how you better tackle the critical issues of the FSHS without necessarily cancelling it.
Share on more terms of reference now. Develop a theme and sub-themes to guide the stakeholder engagement. 2. Identify key stakeholders in the education sector, including students, parents, teachers, pre-tertiary and tertiary, including the private sector, researchers, civil society organizations, development partners, religious bodies, political parties, Ghanaian educational researchers in the diaspora, chiefs, heads of educational institutions, Parliamentary Select Committee on Education, etc., to be invited as participants. Now, the third one is to develop a stakeholder activity agenda with time allocations, example, thematic breakout sessions, blah 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 blah. And but there was one here. Draft a national education policy framework and propose an action plan for implementing recommendations within 3 weeks after the forum, and then consider any other issues relevant to the organization of the forum.
So one, the education is in first is the key. And one of the core reasons are so one, funding, and I'm sure some say the private sector, the funding is key. 2, we can look at the curriculum. We can read the curriculum. We can look at the infrastructure too. infrastructure, and we can look at also probably decentralizing it. There are key issues. School feeding, all those matters must be so
teacher motivation.
They're very comprehensive. We say, and also advise them. Say before Nana do move free power. No, I think they don't table. I don't. Was it passed Free SHS Act? No? So in the spirit of continuation, yes, Nana do Ghana for voted MPP. It doesn't mean MPP for the way you wrong. So in the spirit of continuation and also bringing everybody on board, you shouldn't just disregard the terms of SAR bill. You should consider it and then probably critique it, build and add on it. Because I think like I'm saying, actually, consistent. Be president or president of Ghana, and about party Nsem into the fact say Ghana for a voted here a party. It doesn't mean say. Indeed, if me so about ideas na so about energy sector program man criticize idea no criticize commitment to fulfilling it over 1D1F man criticize idea and fantastic idea there again where they committed. So there are so many policies between the last 8 years and people propose real excellent policy. The issue was not with the policy per se, but the issue was with the commitment at implementing those policies. Me first say a moment to education say I just say they must you won't mean never say without considering all the work that was done on the bill. And about even so much another economic forum we say. And so to me discard all the ideas from the previous regime, because like I'm saying, the issue in my view was not about the policies, it's about the lack of commitment at implementing those policies. Now you can't Ghana because there are opportunities. So I support the idea. It's a very big opportunity to bring everybody on board. Now you reset friends
okay, all right. Me that's it. Kojo?
Yes, bro. One, Wunya Mike and now Wunya if they are what's not say, you shouldn't use it to destroy people and reputation. Same with lawyer kind. Well, meeting a high, the American beer, Crawford. Maybe a chinampo, me betina na me apology. Crawford, mom tea, young better say my render apology. So, building of reputation starts with you. We are so easy and quick. Say, Bibia, na ye say, yes, say in Crawfording. Yes, say in Crawford because of what they are doing. Voma War, unfortunately, is becoming too notorious for most of these things. Sa no can say, was it a former security minister? No, you didn't call courts. Na courts no finding a guilty near there. And then or the about a parliament. So you remember he was reprimanded for condemning the national security minister or Kendapa. You had issues with him. And now you've brought it on parliament again. Why? Why are you behaving this way? My yet na yen saying Crawford na ye na bet na say I'm sorry. It's not right. If you don't have any proof, say parliament, omujisika and appointments committee, omujisika before sitting there. Why do you come out and do that? Why? Mr. And we should all take lessons from this, because whatever we do and whatever we say, they are learning from us. So when they learn, say, we bet me at night, na say, lawyer po jama wa bodam. Na me we are next time who lawyer, lawyer me pacho man can ye. Then we are going on. I don't think it's right. And I think this is where the speaker should rather let the privileges committee or whichever committee that sat on this, to give stiffer punishments so that people will stop misbehaving. People are taking the law into their own hands and misbehaving too much. About educational issue now. Yes, it's a fine idea. Yes, it's a good idea. But if they want the welfare of this country, I don't think that time pass a free SHS into law. They decide they say that time one person back parliament. So parliament did not hold to pass it. Education People are suffering to the extent that they can't afford to pay fees for their children. Free SHS number, we saw the intake in schools every year. Year by year, it grew from 800,000 to 1.6 million every year. It tells you the number of people who would have lost out on free SHS. A good idea, a good policy. And we have to create funding for it. Funding na yede to cars pi, yede koto nyama pi, yede to ndani adie, yede tutu kwaino. You're creating my young color, because when you educate your children, you've educated the whole nation. When we educate them, it means you are building a good future for this country. Exporting of nurses, exporting of doctors, exporting of people, exporting of ideas, exporting of brains. When you go across the world, who say Ghana for Adrian Omowono, they are using it out there a lot, and they are being paid for it. So if we do it and do it well, I believe say education is key. Education is important. Ma committee no ma nkrofu assume say they are omokoye no is partisan. Omonde yen na ebechire. If they go and do it in such a way, say me sitting here and I take a vote in a hono, we can say, hey, Jama omo yet to suit and go for the NDC ways. The next government who comes will also say they are going to do what? Reforms. So okay, NDPC, National Development Planning Commission.
Yeah.
Year after year, we'll be up to now, a 20-year plan and a 40-year plan. No, it has not kicked off. And it's sad. Because you're back now you're the partisan in such a way, say, way back, no, our best is 8 years. It didn't work. And we are still on it. Let us do things that will let this country grow. Let us not do things that people will see it as partisan and then they will come and they will want to change it. Country no nipa bakope nebetumi lead. And the way you lead is the legacy you leave behind. So we lead here, we legacy wo ho emo. When lead here, sa legacy na wo jano ebe wo ho amo. Inti yen hwe na yen build the country no. This is all kind no. One day one have brilliant idea, because if you want to develop your nation, one, you have to start with agric. Grow your agric very well. Sustenance, food sustenance near the end. Then when you finish, you turn it into finished products. You cannot grow your country when your 90% of your products are go out to be turned into finished products and comes back to this country at more expensive prices. Build upon what you have. Turn it. Ma endani say ye production near the end. So when we are exporting it now, it's a finished product. You're exporting. One, it creates business, jobs for the people. Two, it gives you enough foreign exchange for you not to depend on the foreign exchange from out. Yenim, obianim, and so ye ba. Yensika ye ko jini na. Say IMF, say World Bank, say then you. They are yede yen who bisa who say, how can we sustain this and pay back? Because it seems like you don't think about manufacturing companies are ever done into job creation and final products. I am serving nation in be outside for exports. Because it's only when you've been able to serve your people that you can send it out. And these are things I expect our leaders to push and push well. Some of us are ready to run some of these factories and run it like a business, not like the normal Ghanaian area. Yet now why you feel say, oh, factory there are buying there into a cool and cool. People should be responsible and people should show leadership in whatever they are doing. Because when my child comes tomorrow, nobody take you over. Now your bonny didn't say, oh, I've read Adom Nsem bana or bano. Ne papa ejumo obe bo hane ye good. Until we know you can also do it, because one must have training in discipline. No, it makes me proud, and that is what we are expecting our leaders, and especially Omoya form to emulate. Omunja di mpa, momunja di mbone. Momunja says just about riches, but it's about making a name and making it well. That I say.
Adom 106.3 FM. Good morning to you, Whitney Nyantechua. Good morning to you. Now, member Facebook. Wait, okay. I say we will force President John Mahama to sign the anti-LGBTQ bill, which is part of his promise. So, where is he running away from cocoa farmers to? We are waiting for their 6,000 per bag. And also they are the buyer no. But lawyer, in your best few minutes, the Operation Recover All Loot, Ejuma Omo no. Any opinion or down Honorable Samuel Kujeto Ablakwa, when he appeared before the committee, and I pay Ubetu Semene Janet Nabla Kasa. They think that he was a bit evasive of certain questions no, specifically on the properties in the choir of Sikani as the chair of a committee, a Momo Recover Loot, no, he should have been a bit opened. But for the chairman of the committee, so this question, don't answer this question here. What is your take on that?
Excellent call. You see, your constitution was built on some values. Be key among those values are the values of probity and accountability. Anything like a constitution or a war clause says a public official, you must declare or assets. Yeah. So Ghana public opinion those principles not apply to. For Ghana, one thing in terms of corruption, lifestyle audit. So if say and permit me. And there's another toss in the fight before election. You increase the right political culture, which is the tolerant of views and accountable. Now, says I never toss out here. Listen, Obiama must be accountable. Obiama, and the higher you go, the more accountable you should become. So the because the standards expected from the members of the Orano should even be higher than, let's say, for me, I mean, or our member. No, wow, projects or me fighting for, we say no. Then you must biggest credibility. One casawo internet and one no, but I felt say, and not a chairman so a problem, chairman of the committee, because I first Okujeto wanted to answer the question.
Yes.
So he should have allowed him to answer the question. Because one boy Okujeto by not allowing him to answer the question. No. And I remember telling some people, to pay 15,000. I need a right call. Let us say, like I'm saying, no, I think it creates a right system. No, a non-negotiable. And a will be a say, you only padia say, and you only padia say, because I would just some pay. That's a Ulivi, it was XP. That's a Ulivi lifestyle 10x. That's why a public official are. We have a right to know how you're able to fund the rest of the 10x lifestyle, even though JXP. So, see, my partisanship and Claudia. PMP Mammy Lubisano is in the right order. And it shouldn't just to be to Okukujetu, but it will be insisting on principles of accountability. No, it shouldn't be saying the ball. That's me coca or TV last week. That could be Abana the ball.
Techino.
Zabana. Yeah, the bopa. Embassy, the baby botechi.
They go far back for
the so the way a up in arms, you scrutinizing and now do news no sana. You be scrutinize it, and such scrutinize any abembia because like I'm saying, no, Obiama build on my MIA, and on mine will put them on the right values and principles. And one of the most critical values, no, is the value of integrity. And say those are politics. Would say 2 years what can be after 2 years change after now? No, we shouldn't allow that kind of. I don't see anything. I don't see any issue. So I say operation recover all loot. Into no more than no. More what you expect from you, even higher. It shouldn't be the case. You be for dear. None of say what call loot be but you say James are pay we. As an ultimate a fund lifestyle way. Just answer. Then once at the end, also the moral right, to lead sa effort, to the benefit of Ghana Funyana. So
that's it.
Integrity is very key in everything you do. Integrity is very, very key. Because we say we're a chairman of the oral operation recover all loot. Now you be so say.
On a lighter note, that my name is Papa Baker, so I'm a professor. Now you didn't command us, CJ. I mean, seriously, operation recover all loot. So, Mpensenpensenmu crash and now operation prevent all loot for government appointees, so that if you're able to prevent the loot from being looted, there will be nothing to recover.
Thank you. Thank you. True. Sometimes we as leaders we have to lead by example. True. Yeah, beside the question, chairman because you should have been able to tell the chairman, I'm prepared to disclose every asset I have and how I got it. You don't tell us, say, who 15,000 income. Now we would rent $15,000 plus every month for the last 8 or 10 years. And you expect people not to think outside the box? Say, we are then a winner. You are a young guy. Yes, when you say you are a young guy. So it should tell us that there is something not adding up. And you, as a woman, we are first person. Bet your mining in say, me a me pese me recover routine, me chair will be a me me income war, me chow adia me misikaye, me chow say me see dine, yes, me see dine. Neither near one crew me waterfront in him no. Obian country. And your 4-bedroom, uncle check it. Listen, there are so many things I was soon there. I hear pese yes suppress no. And they say, he who calls for equity comes with what?
Clean hands.
Thank you. Who fresh and coffee could sit down, Obia could talk, now say, my friends, as I say, what in the room. Especially when the person was doing his own business or running a business, documents in our home. Because of that, Nipakron can say, on per minister, because he should be able to buy his things freely. He's running his business. Parliament, so Woko now would declare, say, I still have my business, I may, They allow you to do it, and I lawyer me boy. They allow you to do it. It is a business they fetching me more money than I'm going to be a minister, ever stopping me from getting certain businesses. Masa, Metina Hadrian who be Airport Hills dying is going for nothing less than rental, nothing less than $15,000 to about $30,000 a month. And you've done that for the last, I'll say how many years? 8 and 10.
8, yeah.
Into calculating. Yeah, last year calculation. Now we are talking about 21.6 billion. Serious money. On your size can win as 15,000 a month member of parliament. On your juma be abio. I don't think the input the salary the beka one lawyer unless ebia as lawyers munya sika boom 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 or baby. Because I don't think in a year you're young and you obia or yeah. International cases, Ubeka say she can get about $20,000 just like that, and now $200,000 or $500,000 just like that. She's not that type of lawyer. So immediately, you give people room to doubt your integrity. Say, I'm ready to destroy others. I'm ready to talk about others, but maybe the more bianca. In the chairman, they can't say no. There are certain questions you don't need to answer. No, Ubeka can say, chairman. As the chairman of Oral, as a person who believes in probity and accountability, as a person who wants to be transparent,
I would love to answer.
I would want to answer this question and answer so that everybody will know. Don't come and say that I will say, I've also got documents about you, your land that you bought at Muniba, and I've also, why you want to try and intimidate the person who is interviewing you, or you want to try and do it in such a way, say, make Adom 106.3. And that is why the vice chairman or the friends, the rank, is he the ranking member? No, he's the minority leader there.
Yeah.
What can I say? Me, all my properties, name them. I'm ready for it. I say, I have my strategy and you have your strategy, so I'll name it. Then why did you bring it there? Why did you start in the first place? Why do you start something and run away from it? Ghanaians in Sheye, Ghanaians in Bisa questions. And Ghana, we have to protect this country. Now, Operation Recover All Loot starts with you, the members of the committee. It starts with you, the members of the committee. The first thing maybe President Mahama should have done was to have told all the committee members to name their assets and how they got them. And then people will start believing in them. Because leadership is by example. It's by example, I say you who say, "Wa, what's not adiena no? We are wadiye." Until now, the rest, when you are asking them questions or you are querying them, you are coming with clean hands. There's God above who will judge us one day. And whatever you hide under the table will always come up. But that's it.